Tell me something good.
Tell me that you love me. Yeah. Okay, all right. Look. I have a question.
Up?
So we spent the 4th of July together.
Yes.
We not just coworkers. We're actually friends.
We're buds.
And
You actually got invited to the bar.
I got invited to the barbecue. Now y'all look. Okay, I feel like now this is a safe space because something happened during our celebration, and I feel like I can tell the world now. I did not know how to play spades, but I kind of know now. So my question is, because every time people find out you black and you don't know how to play spades, everybody always, this don't know how to play spades.
It's a big deal.
So when did y'all learn how to play spades?
I learned. I feel like I really learned in college. I'd seen it before when I was growing up, but I didn't really know how to play growing up. But it wasn't until I went to HBCU and we started playing spades all the time.
Yeah.
So,
But did you ask somebody, were you just like, yo, I need to see, or did you just sit at the table and become a student of the game?
A student of the game.
I became a student of the game until now I'm a teacher.
He probably read a book about it.
Did you read books? Cool. When'd you find out how to play?
I learned through an app. So growing up, I watched the people. They wouldn't let you sit at the grown people's table.
Right.
So I watched them, couldn't figure it out. Then I went to college. Everybody was playing. I downloaded the app and figured it out.
You got resourceful.
Now me and Coop be running the table.
Yeah.
I heard y'all be running the table. Bro, I learned so much about space. I now feel like I'm a part of, because I was nervous to tell people at first because nobody ever want to show you.
That's black shame. That's like the great black shame.
The great-
Spades, dominoes. You can't dance.
Right. People will shame you.
You ain't never seen Friday.
Right. They will shame you into embarrassment. Nobody can ever just be like, hey, let me show you. It's always, you ain't play spades.
Right.
You ain't seen Friday. You ain't got no rhythm. And this is the thing. I know some of y'all.
Basketball. You can't.
Right. I know some of y'all also don't know how to play spades. This is a safe space, and we at the Soundboard Podcast support you.
We support you.
And one day we're going to have a Patreon. We're going to teach you how to play spades. Let's jump into the episode.
What's up with it? Welcome back to the Soundboard Podcast.
Yeah.
Back.
It's your boy JJ, and I'm with my boys.
This is Coop.
And this your boy Dante. You already know.
And welcome back. This is episode 6.
Says.
Since it's episode 6.
Spanish.
It says in Spanish. This episode is Bonjour la famille.
Bonjour la famille.
Ah.
Why is it bonjour la famille?
Bro, that's Italian. It's French.
Yeah, you gave us a
Was
little
that an
Their
Italian accent?
Yeah.
What's
Like you, pizza and mozzarella and pizza.
Wait. Bonjour. How you say it in the French accent?
Bonjour la famille.
That ain't no accent. You sound like you from Texas.
Bonjour la famille.
Bonjour. Why are we saying bonjour la famille?
Because we are a family.
And we're international.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have Canadian listeners now.
Right, international, and I'm known to rock the microphone. But we wanted to say it in French because Canadians speak English.
And French.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why we want to say it in French. We want to be different because now not only are we in Germany, but we're also in Canada. We're also in India. We trying to figure that out. Okay,
We got like one listener in each of these areas.
we got like one listener, but we appreciate it, and for the rest of y'all, we appreciate y'all too.
For sure. So, fellas, what's been going on since we met last time? What's up with y'all?
Dante?
I just feel like I done seen y'all a lot. like we went to dinner together.
Yeah.
We actually photographed it. It took photos.
Oh, yeah, we have our picture.
We gonna drop those. But we went to dinner together. It was a good experience, and also we hung out on the fort, not to celebrate 4th of July, but just to hang out.
Hang out with the fellas.
And so, man, it has been a really, really good time. I will tell y'all this: I went to the movies for the first time since 2019.
How was it?
I went to go see.
Do you go to the regular theater or do you go to the
Like a studio movie
Yeah,
grill.
that's all. I don't do if they don't serve food, I'm not going.
I went to regular degular
God.
AMC.
Oh,
But we went to go
Gotta
see
do better.
Too Fast, Too Furious 9 or Fast and Furious 9. Bro, at
9
this
fast, 9 serious.
at this point, I am over this entire series, bro. Somehow they went from like racing cars to now these fools are like superheroes. They be over here falling out of windows, falling out of buildings,
Bro, it's so
falling to their
unrealistic.
death. It's so unrealistic. Like in this movie, I ain't gonna spoil it to y'all. Somehow they ended up in space.
I haven't seen.
In space.
They racing cars in
In
space.
space. In space.
But that's the thing. I haven't seen this last one. But the last couple, they haven't been racing.
Bro, they over here doing hand to hand combat.
You can
Ain't
only
you from
race
Compton?
so much.
I get it, but like it was just a lot. And then I learned how to play spades, so that was probably the highlight. That's the highlight, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I can now sit at the table. I'm still a little slow with it, but I feel like now I at least understand what's going on.
That's what's up, man. So I've been busy, keeping up with my goals.
What's so with it?
You know what, Coop? The only reason why Coop is so annoying is his goals have to do with us. I'm gonna tell y'all about this man in a second.
No, but I found my certification class I'm gonna take.
Okay, dope.
So it's in my field, and so I'm gonna go and go through with that. It's gonna take like a year.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Worth it.
It's worth it.
Increase.
Worth it. Other than that, just baby stuff. Nothing crazy. Yeah. What about you, JJ?
It feel like it's been busy for me. Like I said, we had that barbecue. And the crazy thing is we had the barbecue at Coop's spot.
But it was really JJ's barbecue.
It wasn't my
It was
barbecue.
JJ's barbecue. No, let me tell y'all how people always
wasn't
put
my
it on you.
barbecue.
JJ texted the thread and said, "Y'all queuing?"
Yeah. And I responded, nah.
No, you say you was down.
Read the
I ain't got the text.
Yeah,
I ain't got the
I
text.
bet, I
But
bet.
he was like, nah, but we can.
Right.
So I'm like, cool. If you host, bet we barbecuing.
Right.
I get over there and I'm the only one barbecuing. Everybody else inside in the AC. I'm outside on the grill sweating.
Bro, JJ
I
was.
started the fire.
You did.
I put the chicken on. I seasoned the chicken.
And then went back in the AC.
And Coop came and lay down, not just lay down, but lay down in the recliner. It was half asleep.
Yeah, but the barbecue was cool though.
Bro, it was
a good time.
It was a great time. I will say this: if you are plant-based like I am, your friends don't care about you.
Yeah,
We
only
care.
No, they didn't. I showed up over here. All the buns got milk in it. I couldn't eat none of the sides.
I didn't even realize that the buns had milk.
Yeah, I didn't
Yes,
know
bro.
that.
Yes.
But also, I didn't know you were plant based.
Yes.
I know you ate a lot of vegetables.
But are you plant based? Are you plant based though?
Yes, now.
Okay, I knew you
Now.
were. Okay, I knew you were.
No,
plant-
y'all, I've been plant-based. First of all, I've been plant-based now for like 2 months.
I knew you were
Like fully
plant
plant-based.
based, but I didn't know that was the only thing on the base.
He thought he could build.
Yeah, from the base.
That was
it goes
just the
up.
bottom layer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Food
bro.
Pyramid.
But you know what? I commend y'all. Y'all told me to bring me some veggie patties. I brought the veggie patties. Y'all cooked them. We almost had an
How were they?
altercation.
How were they though?
Oh yeah.
I almost lost one of them. We almost had an altercation. It was in a pan with the other meats. And somebody who didn't know grabbed it.
the
And I had
wrong
to go reclaim it off that bun. I was like, hey bro, that's a veggie patty. He said, I know it looked different. I said, yeah, just run
is
that.
Run me that patty.
Just run me that patty, King. Just run me that patty. 4th of July could have been a whole different situation.
Different type of fireworks.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, but it was cool. I think it was good. And JJ, you did your thing on the grill, bro. So thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it,
you
appreciate
did,
it,
bro.
appreciate
Those
it,
burgers were phenomenal.
Thank you. So yeah, man, it was cool. Like the barbecue was fun. I had a good time. My sister's birthday is actually July 5th, so shout out to her.
Shouts out.
Celebrated her birthday, went out to dinner, and then work has been busy, but everything else has been pretty good. I've been on an apartment search, so I'm trying to find a new spot.
Right.
And my whole plan was to get a house this year. So when my lease was up, I was trying to get a house. But the way the market is set up in DFW,
Tell us about the market.
crazy.
it's set up it's not a buyer's market.
It's
Correct.
a seller's
I mean,
market.
it's a seller's market, yeah. So it's like it's not conducive for me right now. So I end up releasing, and those prices, bro, them apartment prices done skyrocket.
Yes, bro.
But I finally solidified me a little spot now, so got that done. And then just really just kicking it. had a pretty busy weekend.
Nah, don't pass over something very important that happened. Your boys went out there and played a little golf. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, y'all did go play around,
bro. 6:48 tee time.
First of all, in the morning
on Saturday morning,
and it's an hour drive for me.
Yeah, it's far.
Y'all were there at 6:45.
I was there at 6.
No, we had to get there earlier than 6:45.
So you left here at 5.
I left here. I left my home at 5.
Bro, is it fun?
Yes,
bro.
It's the best way to be in nature, bro.
Yeah, a lot of fun. My boy Pat came in town.
Shout out to Pat. He's a faithful listener to the podcast.
Scott also.
Shout out to Scott.
Scott is a golfer.
Oh, see, I hate when people just go out here and they be like, "Oh yeah, let's go do a round or something."
Nah, bro, he does.
And they be showing off.
I said, this is a professional.
You need to be with Tiger.
I could have swore I seen him on TV.
We were having a great match, right, all the way through the front 17, and then White Excellence came through.
Not White Excellence.
Bro, let me tell you what they did. So it's Coop and Scott against me and Pat, right? And we going back and forth pretty much the whole day. It's basically even going on to the 18th hole, last hole of the day. I turn around. I'm teeing off on the 18th hole. I turn around and Coop,
because for a non-golfer, teeing off.
Oh yeah, like the first swing of the 18th hole.
Okay,
not like Oak Cliff, like where you tee off.
I'm not a golfer outside of top golf.
I'm like usually on the first shot. You set the ball up on the tee, so that's why they say.
Oh, the little white thing.
Mm-hmm. Different colors, but yeah.
I know they come in different colors. Okay.
Anyways, I'm up there to tee off right for the 18th hole. I turn around and Coop and Scott done put on Luka Doncic jersey.
Need a little Luka magic,
and then hit the best shot of the day. And
Scott
won.
did, not me.
Yeah, Scott did. Scott did and won. Talking about step back. Step back.
That's because he too Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Great time.
And we do celebrate White Excellence also here.
We do.
So thank you, Scott, for that.
All levels of excellence.
Right.
We appreciate. You know what? Speaking of excellence, I'm glad y'all brought that up. Man, shout out to the Soundboard Podcast community.
Yeah.
Y'all really be showing up, man. On the last episode, we put what is it that you are having to unlearn, and bro, y'all dropped some deep things on the IG. Now, if you aren't following us on IG, please go and do that. Also, we got the Facebook popping. We about to start adding y'all, so please accept. But one of the things my boy Cool Black Nerd said, he needs to unlearn emotional unavailability and overthinking.
That's good, bro.
That's heavy,
bro. It's so many people need to learn
that. Whole conversation.
Oh, hold on. Even Coop hopped on there and said, "I think I want to stop being a nice guy and just be a good man."
That's good, Cool.
That's good.
Yeah. You feel like you're a nice guy?
I'm a nice guy. I'm trying to stop being so nice. Because nice people get taken advantage of.
They do get taken advantage of.
So it's like you don't want to get taken advantage of, but you want to do the right thing. And then a good man knows, you
just do the right thing at all times.
Exactly.
That's good. That's
like
good.
Also, a nice guy puts people in bad situations. I'll give you an example. Because you're looking at me like I need an example. So like a nice guy will date a girl and not break up with her because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
But a good man will break up with her and let her be free.
Because he knows that he can't be the man for her.
That's good. Yeah. Are you trying to be the good man?
You're trying to be a good man.
I don't want to be a nice guy.
Bro, that's deep. That's good.
Don't get him confused.
I'm deep. Wait, yeah.
Wait, pause. Man, Go Coco said, needing a pat on the back. I big up myself now. That's good, bro. You don't know how many people just live for other people's just love and affection. Oh, Nicker Foo. Not every conversation is a debate. I need to learn this. I had to hop on there and comment on this.
That's a really good
He said, not every conversation is a debate. Not everyone is fueled by competition. Some are drained by it. Unlearning the hyper-competitive mindset pertaining to situations where it is unnecessary.
Yep. That's deep, too.
That's deep.
Y'all came with some deep things.
Bro, y'all came with some deep things. Oh, and Pat. Speaking of Pat, he said he needs to unlearn society's definition of success. because that's something that you got to define for yourself. So guys, we appreciate y'all for hopping on. We always want to make sure that when we come back to the next episode that we recant what we talked about, because these are things that we also need to unlearn.
Right.
So if you are not a part of our community, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro?
We need you to be.
We need you a part.
Community.
Go add us on IG at the Soundboard Podcast.
Yeah, bro. And speaking of all that, everything we talked about last week, or not last week, last episode, I feel like the unlearning the boundaries, all practical things, right? They're all practical,
right?
Which leads
me
to the question: how often do we actually put into practice the advice we get from our soundboard?
Do you want the real answer?
Right? Because I mean, we talk about things. We talk about things all the time. But how often are we actually putting that into practice? What does that look like?
I'm gonna let Coop go.
So I practice what I pod. I'm gonna speak for myself.
Practice what you pod.
Practice what you pod, King. I will agree with Coop. I think Coop does practice what he pods.
I'm real like I said on one of the other episodes. Once I have a goal, I attack it. Like I'm obsessed.
Yo,
with this
you were
goal.
like 120. 120 on the go.
No, can we talk about this?
Let's be transparent.
Let's be transparent, y'all. Let's be transparent. As you know, we are trying to build up our podcast. We had a visionary meeting where we set certain goals about things that we wanted.
Yeah.
So I guess Coop felt JJ and I were pulling our end of the, I guess he felt like we weren't pulling our end of the ship, of the boat.
Right.
That King said, we need to have a conference call. When are y'all available? Bro, we get on the
he said I need to speak to y'all about a matter.
right. Bro, this man got on a call with us and was basically like, JJ, can you explain to me why you're falling short? JJ gave his reason. He said, Dante, does that same thing apply to you? So Coop said that he was gonna get this podcast popping as one of his goals, and that King is very much sticking to that.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate the accountability too. Yeah. It was hard to hear, but it was all love.
I hope I communicated in an effective way.
You did good.
You did. You were calm. You were just very much like, y'all ain't doing what y'all need to do.
You was borderline, bro.
See, the problem is when you try to talk to people, you want to make sure you're speaking their language.
Right.
So
you have to dumb yourself down for
No. Not dumb. I guess it'd be like tone in. Like some people want you to be aggressive. Like that's how they.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Dante.
So, Dante.
Y'all know what? I used to be aggressive. I'm now soft. Bro, when Coop was getting on that, I felt genuinely bad. I was like, Coop was like, basically like, y'all need to do better. I was like, okay.
Can't really say nothing.
Right, I can't really say nothing.
That's funny. But what about y'all?
No, you never told you said you practice what you pod. I agree with that. I think Coop does a great job of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I do it regularly. I mean, I've been putting into motion all of my goals
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I talk about a whole bunch of things. I'll talk about a whole bunch of things, and then not very few things. But when the rubber meets the road, as some of them say, I failed the test. I failed the test, y'all. So one of the episodes, was it the last episode? It was the episode before last. One of them, we were talking about boundaries. We were talking about was it boundaries?
Yeah.
And protecting your peace, right?
Right.
I believe, yeah, I don't know who y'all believe in. I believe in God. I believe that God gives you tests to say, let me just see if you gonna do what you say.
Are you walking your talk?
I got on this podcast talking about I'm finna protect my peace and lost it this weekend. Absolutely lost it this weekend.
Bro?
So our homie's birthday came up. Shout out to Twan. He had a whole plethora of events, right? Now, mind you, some of the events, I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go out like that, right?
You're not in that stage of life.
I'm just not in that stage of life. I'm not trying to go out, be around a whole bunch of random people.
Yeah.
So he was having 3 events. The first event was a sushi thing. You already know I pull up to that. I like a little veggie roll here and there, you know what I'm saying? Pull up to that. That was great. The second thing was a pool party. I was like, King, you ain't never seen me in no pool. Definitely ain't about to drown in front of strangers.
Right.
I'm not going to go hold of that. The second thing, he was like, oh, we about to be section boys. We're going out in Deep Ellum. Right. I'm like, okay, bro, cool. Now, this is the thing. And I had an opportunity in that moment to say, hey, bro, you know, I ain't really vibing with like going out like that. I ain't really trying to do it. But when the rubber met the road, what I do?
You went.
Sitting in that club, standing up, hands crossed, with random people in my bubble.
Yeah.
All because I wanted to support a friend. And I think that's the part
and we
where...
just talked about it.
just talked about it. And it was one of those things where I was just like... I asked myself, like, is supporting Twan more important than the peace thing? And although I love my brother, I support him. After that situation, I am very confident in saying that's not a situation I want to be in again. And that's not to say that I don't, you know, want to celebrate him. It's just that's not the vibe that I'm on. And I realized that when I was there.
What do you feel like you could have done differently? Like, how could you have approached that situation?
I think I could have communicated better. I think I could have just been like, hey, bro, I don't, you know, in this season, I ain't really trying to go to the club, but like, if you want to go, you know, to dinner, you already know I'm gonna come to that, or maybe we can go do something. I can take you out some other time. We can go do something else, Top Golf or something like that. But that's what he wanted to do. So I guess that's the thing that I'm struggling with.
But how do you? But that's what I'm saying though. Even if somebody else wants to do that, that's where their boundaries comes into place.
Right.
Because not everybody's going to agree with what you want to do.
Right.
So if somebody else does not agree with what you want to do, how do you uphold your boundary? Like, how do you keep that boundary in place?
I know for me, birthdays are tricky because people want to do a lot of things on their birthday weekend.
Right.
You get one event with me.
That's a boundary.
But that's a boundary.
You get one event. So tell me which one you want me to be at. But if it's like in your situation, you're not going, you don't want to be in a club, you don't want to go to a pool party, I'll go out to eat with you.
Right.
So you were there. You're not getting my whole weekend, bro.
So technically, I did ask him. I said, which one would you rather have me at? Would you rather have me at the pool party, or would you rather have me at whatchamacallit? And he said, whatchamacallit.
Oh, so you didn't set a boundary from the jump.
But from the boundary perspective, I probably shouldn't have even given that option. And like I said, it wasn't about me not wanting to celebrate him. We definitely could have celebrated in a different manner.
Right.
It's just I found myself in a situation. I was just like, you know, it's a lot going on. Right. Random people kept coming up to me in my bubble for some reason. I'm like, COVID.
Right.
So
COVID over, they said.
They acting like it. Them people at that place was acting like it.
Yeah.
So I guess I felt the test, but JJ Coop says that he sets his boundaries from the jump. How do you do it? How do you set boundaries?
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily set them from the jump, but I probably do it within the moment. I'm kind of juggling what all's going on and what do I have to do. Because your most valuable asset is time.
Right.
So that plays into my decision. Like, what are my boundaries around time? But it also has to do with, like, planning. Like, if I already know I have a busy weekend or I have a lot of things going on, that's going to affect what I can do. What can I say yes to and what I can say no to.
Are you practicing what you pop? That's the question. That's the question.
You know, you ask somebody a question and they talk around the question. I feel like you was over here talking in cursive.
I feel like I am.
Okay.
So I feel like that same scenario Dante just gave, I said it was opposite for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I created boundaries around that. And there's no slight to the person.
Right.
It's just, this was a very busy weekend for me. So I had like things one after the next. And by the time Saturday afternoon hit, bro, I was exhausted. Mm-hmm. So then for me to think about, all right, does it make sense for me to drive all this way, to spend this amount of money, to spend this time?
Right.
And then I also have a busy next day. I was like, nah, it's not really worth it. So I needed to put a boundary in place for me to be my best self.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's not gonna happen. So I was like, I ain't gonna be able to attend.
I feel that. Let me throw it back to Dante. Mm-hmm. So what is it gonna take for you to like our conversation?
Let me just tell y'all, Coop is so frustrated with me. Like Coop is so frustrated with me.
I'm just disappointed because I'm part of your soundboard, bro. I want to see you at optimum level. I want to see you at peak performance, bro. What is it gonna take for you to follow through and not let our discussions go unwarranted?
Because Coop feel like you wasting his time.
But basically, Coop is like, I'm not gonna keep having these same conversations with you over and over again, and they fall on deaf ears. So this is the thing. I think it depends on the specific situation because there have been several times on other things I talk about it and I do it. I think when it has to do with other people is kind of where I struggle because I'm a very relational person,
right?
And so with relationships, I lead with relationships, right. And sometimes when you lead with relationships, you don't lead with you lead relationally and not rationally.
Okay.
Oh, that was a bar.
Okay.
I'm big up.
So the
myself.
only area you struggle in with setting boundaries is with relationships.
Yeah. Oh, would you disagree?
Nah, I'm just.
Am I pissing you off too? Is there something we need to talk about?
But I feel like that's pretty much in every asset of life, though. Like whenever you're setting boundaries, you're not setting necessarily boundaries for you all the time. You're setting boundaries because
for other people.
Other people are infringing upon your space. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you don't need a boundary. What are you keeping out? You need a boundary for other people. So if your issue with boundaries is people, this sounds like you always gonna have an issue with boundaries. Because everything that you do,
very true,
is relational.
That's very true.
I have this boundary so that I'm a relation, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, they know where I am, where the line is, and what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do.
Right. No, that's true. So I want to ask a follow-up question with that because we are talking about just practicing what you pod, just in general.
Right.
And we're talking about boundaries, but we're talking about like when a friend gives you advice, do you listen? We're talking about all those type of things.
Right.
So my question is, how often will you give somebody advice before you just give up? And I'm laughing because me and JJ had a situation.
Hold on, can you give us a situation first?
Me and JJ had a situation. And so first of all, I've known JJ now for like 11 years. So I've also seen him in different seasons of life. I've seen him in different relationships.
Right.
And there was this one relationship in particular.
Oh.
One relationship. And Coop knows. Coop was there as well.
Was this Uptown?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
And this is this back when JJ was a nice guy,
right? Yes.
And not being a good man.
Yes.
And I used to tell JJ would be like, yeah, bro, and this I'm just frustrated, blah blah blah. And then I'll never forget we had talked about it a couple times, and I said, JJ, I don't even want to talk about this with you no more.
Right.
Don't ever bring it up to me again.
Yeah.
Because we keep talking about it over and over again.
Right, yeah.
So is that insensitive or is that, how would you best handle that? Like, because in that situation, if I felt like I'm talking to him, but he's not practicing out or following through with that, like, how do y'all go about that situation?
I don't even give advice anymore.
That's an interesting...
Why? Don't, because I really feel like most of the time, we know the answer.
Right.
We are not ready to act on the answer.
Right.
And I feel like people don't really do what they're supposed to do until they're fed up with whatever is making them unhappy.
They have to get fed
whatever
up
the problem is, they have to hate the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I really don't give advice usually. People have to pull advice from me because I don't want to waste. Because you know what's going to happen? That's a boundary.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to give you the answer. You're going to say, yeah. And then you're going to go back and do the exact opposite of what I told you to do. Then you're going to come back looking for another answer for another problem that came from the problem that you didn't fix the first time. And then I'm going to be pissed off. And so I have to protect my peace.
All right, that's real.
So if you want to answer, you can ask me, but I need to make sure that you're ready to act on the answer.
Go be like this. We about to go fix this right now.
That's how I feel, bro. Address the issue.
That's valid, bro.
That's valid.
Even for that scenario, I think what you did helped. It worked for me because I wasn't really at a place where I was ready to act on whatever advice. Clearly, if I'm asking you, if we having the same conversation over and over again, you're like, clearly something ain't clicking. Like, you're not really there, bro.
Right.
And it wasn't until I was fed up that I was like, hey, bro, you know, that's what it took. Yes. I'm fed up.
Right.
It wasn't until
but you had to be fed up.
I had to be fed up, yeah.
Right.
And you telling me, like, bro, we're not having this conversation no more. Don't bring this up no more. also helped me to realize, dang, bro. Like,
I keep bringing this up.
I keep bringing this up. I gotta make a decision. I gotta make a choice here.
Right.
So I think it's needed.
Okay, so because I feel like some friends don't operate like that, right? So like if you have a friend and you just keep, maybe it could be relationships, it could be with their finances, it could be with their health, it could be with all kind of things, and they keep coming to you time and time again, asking for advice, asking what they should do, and sometimes you just keep doing it, you just keep giving them advice, you keep telling them what they should do, and they don't do it. I just want to know what that breaking point was.
Well, I feel like we, even like us as friends, bro, like we have a pretty raw and unfiltered level.
That's true.
Yes.
So we're not sugarcoating things. So if you're doing something or Coop doing something that I feel like is wrong or is just like out of character or whatever it may be, or it's just off the rails, I'm gonna let it be known.
Right.
The same thing, y'all gonna let it be known to me. So it's not like we're just placating everything that we need to do. It's just like I'm gonna give it to you straight.
I'm sorry. Placating?
Yeah, I mean that's the word that came to me. I don't know if that's the right word though.
Is that a word?
What does it mean?
I'm saying like essentially like sugarcoating. Like
You
going
making
over.
words? This man is good.
He said essentially.
I don't even know if that's the right word though.
It's essentially it's sugarcoating for you idiots.
I like that though. Placate.
I like placating.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word though, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like a lot of relationships lack accountability though.
Absolutely.
So you have to have accountability to have a authentic, like real relationship.
Can I tell y'all something?
Yeah.
Holding people accountable is tiring.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
That's why Coop's frustrated.
That's why Coop's frustrated with me. Coop, I'm sorry. I won't fail the next test.
Why is it frustrating?
It's because it's like if I'm doing right and you know right, but you're choosing wrong, it's exhausting to keep trying to pull somebody right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm keeping myself on track, which takes energy. Then I gotta
try to worry about keeping you on track.
Yes.
You know what?
It's like pulling somebody that's running against the opposite way.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And it makes you tired, and then they might pull you off track.
Right.
That's like matter of fact, my boy Nick, when we were in high school, we were at IHOP, and we were talking about something similar to this.
That boy Coop got the best memory.
Dude, I don't even remember nothing.
Nick stood up on the chair and asked me to pull him down. I just yanked him off the chair. Now he asked me to stand on the chair and asked me to pull him up. Couldn't do it. And that's the exact same thing that happens in life.
That's a good analogy.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So that boy Coop, he trying to validate him talking about he's deep.
No, that's not me. That's Nick. That's not me.
I'm deep.
That's what happened. It's like I'm trying to constantly pull people up to the right track, and they pull you down not maliciously, but it does pull you down because it's taking your time away from something else you should be focusing on.
Right, and your problems. But you know what I love? One of the things I love most about Coop is he's very definitive when it comes to like characteristics and traits that he don't like in people. So we were sitting here talking about like the things that we don't like about certain people, and I had never really just sat and thought about it. And Coop made this great analogy. He's like, look, usually you don't like people who are the opposite of you.
Right.
He's like, you're not gonna like people who are the opposite of you. So my next question is, because Coop feels strongly about this type of person, and it made me really think about the people that really grind my gears. Yeah. Coop, who grinds your gears the most?
Anybody. I don't like selfish people. I don't like people that are. So I'm a giver.
I agree with that.
I don't like selfish takers. There has to be takers and able to give. You have somebody to take, but I do not like selfish takers that never give anything back.
So they're just taking maliciously
taking, and I think when I said that, I think it's your strongest characteristic. Whoever's opposite of your strongest characteristic, you're gonna hate them.
Do you think? Let me get JJ's first, and then I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
I probably would say, for me, who grinds my gears?
We need a song. Who grinds your gears? Who grinds your gears?
People who are just like disrespectful
That's a good one.
That is good
like
because JJ is very respectful.
I'm respectful, and I feel like I try to put other people, or I always try to keep other people in mind and respect other people. So people who are disrespectful for no reason, they typically grind my gears.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. I would say for me, because I had to really think about this when Coop asked the question, I think the person or the type of people that grind my gears the most is when people who under communicate.
Yeah.
Like I over communicate, and I try my best to over communicate. I try to over communicate at work. I try to over communicate in relationships. Like I try to over communicate. One, because I do it at work because I like repeating myself.
Yeah.
I'm one of them people. I just want to tell you this one time. I don't want to have to keep telling you the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So I get frustrated when I have to repeat myself. So I over communicate so I don't have to. And so I think people who under communicate, people who leave out important details, people who like could go the extra mile in communicating but they don't, and I only say that because I pride myself on being a pretty good communicator. I try to be a good communicator at least. I'm
not that good at communicating.
You are when you mad.
You've gotten better.
I'm working on that. That's like one of the things.
That's crazy because this whole time I thought Dante just loved to talk.
No. I actually hate to repeat myself.
He's trying to effectively communicate.
Yeah, I hate to repeat myself. Because I hate to repeat myself, it is one of my biggest things at work because I'm one of them people that will send you a long email because I don't want you to email me back.
Right.
Like you have everything you need to be successful.
Now go.
Go for it.
Right.
You one of them people that when people email you back, you like per my last
email.
Right.
I will literally copy that mug and be like, per my last email below.
Previously stated.
Right. This is what you need to do because I hate it. It literally grinds my gears because I'm somebody who feels like in any situation, if you can only bring one or two things. You can only bring confusion or clarity, but you cannot bring both. They cannot coexist.
Y'all trying to drop
They
gems
cannot
today.
coexist, bro. They cannot coexist. So at work, in relationships, in friendships, whatever it is, it's either going to be clarity or it's going to be confusion. It cannot be both. They cannot coexist. Next, but my follow-up question is, can you coexist with somebody that's super opposite than you? Is there a way that can work? Because I would think that
I'm talking about like your strongest characteristic.
Your strongest characteristic and their characteristics.
I don't think it's gonna be a happy coexistence. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want.
Come say it, but what I'm not feeling.
I know a lot of people miserable with somebody else. You can do it. You're not gonna be happy though.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's possible to coexist, but I think something has to give.
Yes, that's a good.
Somebody gonna have to.
There has to be a compromise. So even if y'all are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, you're gonna have to compromise, and then the other person's gonna have to compromise at some point on some end of the spectrum. Otherwise, y'all won't be able to coexist.
That's right.
There's gonna be too much hostility, too much tension in between y'all. So to Coop's point, like somebody who, if he's inherently selfless and he's a giver, and somebody else is inherently selfish, they're going to always
bump heads
because they're on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Right.
In order to coexist, then somebody has to be able to be receptive to the other person. And if if nobody's receptive, then it's not gonna work.
So that's good. I would say, I would say, especially like at work, bro. I just had to realize, and just like you said, it's either gonna have to. It's like somebody gonna have to give in. Right. I realized that a lot of people just naturally don't over communicate, and so I had to come to a point where I said, you can't allow yourself to get upset.
Right.
Because people don't communicate how you communicate.
Right.
And so that's helped me to be way more patient with people. I ain't saying it's easy.
Right.
It's definitely not easy, but it has helped me to just be like, you know what? Now I'm gonna still be petty and say per my last email, but I'm not, but I'm gonna just kind of let it ride. Now, this is what I want to know from our Soundboard Podcast community. Because you are your what is the opposite of your strongest characteristic? Because we want to know who grinds your gears. What type of people grind your gears? And I think it's a great question because I never would have just thought about this question until Coop said it. And now it makes me realize when I am in front of somebody who doesn't over communicate, I think it helps me when you're aware of it. It helps you to be more patient with these people.
Yes.
In these characteristics.
Awareness is key.
Awareness is key because a lot of them also may not be aware that they also are selfish or don't over communicate.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like that being receptive comes in. Because
Right.
if somebody's unaware, you bring it to their attention and they're receptive of your feedback, then yes, maybe we can work through some things. If they're not, it's gonna be pretty much impossible to work through it, right?
Right.
So even for me, if I'm thinking about coexisting for somebody, if I'm naturally a compassionate person and I care about other people and I like to respect other people.
Jesus over here.
And I'm trying to coexist with somebody who is disrespectful and rude all
Does
the
Jesus
time.
have a last name?
It's Jesus.
Christ.
Oh, yeah. Edit.
Of Nazareth. Bro, y'all.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He said, did Jesus have a last name?
Yeah, but if I'm trying to coexist with somebody who's disrespectful, it's gonna make me upset. Like every day, I'm gonna be upset because I don't.
Right.
It's not even so much for me. I don't even like how this person is operating or treating other people.
Right.
Especially me though, because if you disrespect, because it's one thing for me though. Like that's one thing I don't tolerate is disrespect. So
Right.
if you're disrespecting me, then we got to pop off.
Yep. Let me add something. So don't think just because you hate somebody that y'all are opposites, right? There's another thing.
Who?
There's another thing.
I see it.
You gonna hate when you're with somebody that displays something that you're lacking.
Oh.
So like maybe I'm gonna call like a weakness. You know what I mean? So like I don't know if I can say weakness. That's whatever. A weakness. So like sometimes I have lazy tendencies. I hate lazy people. It's because it's reminding me of this thing
Right.
that I don't want to be.
Right.
So I don't want to see it. I don't want to be around it. It just pisses me off.
Right.
Because I know I
That's
have
good.
some of that.
That's
That is-
awareness though.
Right. Because sometimes you don't like somebody because y'all literally have the same characteristics.
Yes.
Y'all have the
see
same
that,
traits.
and you don't like the fact that that's an issue for you.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's an insecurity.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Boy, this episode need to win a Pulitzer Prize. What? This episode need to win some deep.
What the Pulitzer Prize? How do you win that?
What's a Pulitzer? Who is that?
I think that's what they do for like. That's
That's for everybody that's placating.
I don't know y'all, but it's important.
If Jesus' last name was Christ,
He's still on Jesus.
how come we don't have any other people with the last name of Christ? Was it Mary Christ? Joseph Christ?
Oh no, y'all, we can cool.
What's wrong with you?
What is?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Back on.
First of all, y'all know what? I think I know what's wrong. We in a sauna recording this episode because Coop house
Hey,
is
bro, I thought
hot.
it was just me. I can't breathe.
I need to let everybody know that my wife likes the AC on 78.
killing you.
And at night, she allows me to take it down to 76. So every night when I tuck myself in bed, I'm in hell. I am in hell.
How old are you?
I took myself in. It is hot. I think that's
That's
why
where compromise comes
Yes,
in.
yes.
she only giving you two.
The baker does not want me to.
The
baker wants- she wants the oven on at all the
It
time.
makes it worse because she the baker.
Right.
Could be like, excuse me, madam.
That's
Could you have a little AC?
She cooking at all times.
Exactly.
And we cooking right now.
Exactly.
Like that barbecue on 4th of July. Woo, it's hot. Okay. No, guys, we can win a Pulitzer Prize. It's an award for achievement in American journalism, literature, or music.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting that.
We're definitely going to get that
Off
because
this one.
this episode's deep. So look, so Coop, you after Coop got through charging us up, he did try to talk to us like it was normal, like we was friends again. You know what? I just need you next time to just be like, all right, guys, we're transitioning the conversation from business to friendship because now you done charged us up. I don't want to talk to you, but you brought up something and we say, nah, say that for the pod. Say that for the pod.
Okay. Oh.
I brought it
This
up.
man looks me dead in my face and saying, yeah.
Okay. So.
I can't think because it's so hot in
So
here.
yeah.
Getting
melting my
hot in
mind.
here.
But okay, listen. So I've been watching The Sopranos, right?
I've never seen an episode.
I had watched like the first season when I was younger. But anyways, Tony, his nephew's name is Chris.
Okay.
Tony is driving his nephew's fiance somewhere at 2 a.m., right?
Okay.
They get in a car accident. Okay?
Okay.
They're in the hospital. So it gets back to his nephew. Hey, your fiance was in a car accident with Tony at 2 a.m. at night.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So now everybody's thinking that...
What they doing together at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, so everybody's like, oh, he was receiving fellatio.
Fellatio.
This is a podcast.
We have parents listening.
And he crashed, right? So anyways, Tony ends up proving that that's not what happened.
Right.
By like the injuries, the seatbelt, whatever was on her. But then Christopher is like, well, it doesn't matter anyways because the perception is that's what happened. So the truth is irrelevant. So what's more important to y'all? The truth, your truth, or your perception? How you're perceived? Or what's more important, period?
You got that from a Soprano episode? Bro, if y'all ever want to know any random thing we talk about, it's usually from Coop. And he don't even smoke. So that just leads me to believe that you seriously just crazy in the mind. Because you got that from a Soprano episode.
I was like, dang, that was deep. Like he said,
I would not have got that from there.
He said the truth wasn't important because of how it's perceived. So then I'm like, dang, what's more important?
So I will say this. This isn't what's most important, but this is what people run with most. It's perception.
Okay.
People run with perception.
If people run with it, though, wouldn't it be the most important?
No, it doesn't mean it's right. It just means that's what people run with. Think about it. Perception is usually messy. It's usually negative. It's usually the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That's what people are going to run with.
The internet.
They're going to...
The internet is all perception.
People are going to... y'all remember the old saying where it says like a lie goes like 7 times, but the truth only goes like once or something like that?
No, I never heard that.
I don't know what exactly it is, but it says something like that.
You said, do y'all remember? I don't remember. Do you remember?
Well, I probably
sounds
said,
right.
I probably said something.
I get it. I get it.
Basically, a lie travels way farther and faster than the truth will.
Right.
I just think people, at the end of the day, people automatically, we live in a world where the first thing people have is what they're going to run with. And so I think very few people I think people don't allow room for the truth. They've already made their mind up about something, even if the truth comes out and disproves that. So it doesn't mean that the perception is more important. I think the perception is just what comes first, is what comes faster.
Right.
And if people can come up with their opinion about that first, because that's the information that they have at their disposal, by the time they get the truth, they don't care no more. Because they have already made their mind up about the situation.
Yeah.
I think that truth is more important.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and I say truth is more important because perception is fickle. So like perception's always going to change.
This is true.
Even like that situation in The Sopranos, bro. That was their perception at the time. As more information comes out, their perception is going to change. So they were like, it doesn't matter anymore. The truth is irrelevant. The truth is relevant because it's the only thing that stands. Perception changes. So over time, that truth
is this man trying to argue with me?
No, I'm saying over time, truth is going to
Truth is what stands.
Yeah, truth is going to stand no matter what. So the more information you get, if it's truth, it's always going to go back to the truth. But throughout this whole process, right, if you're getting perception, your perception might have changed 10 times.
Right.
Based off the information that you gave. But one thing that didn't change is the truth.
Right.
It's always going to be the same.
But I think the issue is even when people hear the truth, how many times have y'all heard somebody come out, let's say a celebrity passes away or something, right? The first thing you hear is it's a potential drug overdose.
Right.
It come back, they had a heart attack. People still be like, I still think it was like people just
that's the
naturally
thing, bro. But that's the thing. Perceptions is interesting because people will perceive what they want. Exactly. So whatever their perception is like, whatever I want reality to be, I'm gonna perceive it that way.
Right.
So what JJ just said took my mind a completely different way. So when he said truth stands the tell of time, basically, that takes me back to like how people want to tear down Confederate statues and stuff like that. Right. So it's like the perception at the time was that this was okay, like slavery was okay, right? And then they're like, okay, well, it's gone, but our our grandparents fought for what they felt was right or whatever,
right?
And they still might feel like it was right, but as time goes on, it's like the truth is they were wrong, and these are not people to be celebrated,
right?
So even though the people at the time are not going to get to see the truth, it stood the test of time,
right?
Yeah,
and I think it really comes down to, from a personal perspective, is do you care about the perception? Because at the end of the day, people gonna perceive what they want to perceive. You know the truth, and so even if more information comes out, people are gonna still, like I said, just run with the perception. Okay, that's what they're saying to cover it up, or that's what they're saying now.
Right.
But I think in the world we live in, it's really easy to get caught up in what people think and people's perception, even if you know the truth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
To that point, I still think truth is the most important.
I agree with that.
I think perception can be equally as important depending on the situation. So I think perception becomes very important around people that are close to you, around your inner circle.
Right.
Because you want to be cautious of how you move sometimes because of how it may be perceived.
Right.
And so, like, if you're moving a certain type of way, you don't want your wife to perceive this
the wrong way,
right? Like that's when perception comes into play. It's your close circle, it's the people you care about. You want to uphold this level of perception that should go in line with the truth. Now, outside of that circle, that's when it really don't matter, because these people, who really cares? Like, I don't really know y'all. Y'all can perceive whatever y'all want to about me.
Right.
But it's the people in the inner circle, that's where perception, I feel like, comes into play.
And that's a good point, because that was Christopher's problem, because he was like, their inner circle was believing the rumor, basically.
Right.
So he can't bring his fiance anywhere without being laughed at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
No, and that was a good point. And just to boil it down even further, it's funny that you say that about like Coop and his lady, because Olivia and I have been together for a while, and one thing about me is I tell Olivia this all the time. The reason you love me, the things you love about me, other people also love about me. And so even at one point, listen. So it's easy for me to also have as many homeboys as it is homegirls. But I had to learn about perception, that there are certain things that I cannot.
This is Coop personally.
I just had to learn that there are certain things and situations I can't put myself in because it can be perceived the wrong way. And so honestly, I had to start moving differently. Like I may not be out here just hanging out with female coworkers by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be perceived the wrong way. Like who y'all there?
Right.
Is the dudes there too?
Yeah.
Because it's about the perception. If let's say I was out here driving somewhere, me and a homegirl are going somewhere, somebody sees me with this young lady. And the perception, who is this girl in the car with Dante? Let me text Olivia and tell her da-da-da-da. Yeah. Sometimes you have to do things because even if you know you ain't doing them wrong, it's just people run with false narratives.
Yeah, but that's why I also feel like truth is so important, because if Olivia knows who you are and she knows the truth, all that stuff won't faze her.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Like the truth is going to supersede the perception.
I agree with that.
It depends, but it also depends on who's telling her and the context.
And how much they're in their relationship as well. And how convincing they are. Because let me just be honest with y'all. Some people are persuasive.
Oh, yes.
Some people are persuasive and manipulative.
Yes. That's in a whole other pod.
I struggled to say that word.
Be like, girl, I seen her in that car, but I don't know what she was doing.
Right. I'll hit a very sensitive spot. I think we saved that for the relationship pod.
So you know what is so funny about Coop and I? Coop and I have been friends literally probably about 10 years now.
Yeah.
If not longer. And I'm realizing that Coop and I are a lot alike. Yeah. Like, we both like to be at the crib, but we both are also very sociable. But we both like to be at the crib. And so the more we do this pod together, I'm realizing that Coop and I are very much alike.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
then we have JJ. Who's Michelle.
The Michelle. We got two Beyonces.
I am not Michelle.
Two Beyonce?
Beyonce?
Two Beyonces and Michelle. No, man, I appreciate we appreciate you guys coming and listening to this episode of the podcast, man. Hopefully y'all took something away from it. I think this was a deep podcast.
This was great.
Yeah.
Pulitzer Committee, hit us up.
Hit my line.
This is groundbreaking journalism. This is groundbreaking journalism. Hey, man, it's your boy Dante. I can't wait for you guys to talk to us next time.
Hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in. It's your boy JJ, and we will holler at you next time.
And you already know, this is
cool. Hey guys, don't forget, please follow us on IG. That's where we post updates and follow-ups to the show. It's at The Soundboard Podcast. At The Soundboard Podcast. Also, if you want to know our personal handles, y'all can get it from there. We're going to make y'all work for some of this. We be giving it to y'all. We're going to make y'all work for some of this, guys. Appreciate y'all listening. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.